Talking at the Movies,
Right.
with your hosts, Eddie, Salim, and Mo.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I made a reset. What's that, Salim?
It's my two fingers saying peace.
Oh, I thought you gave me the signal to cut it, like to stop talking.
Oh, sorry.
Hear me. Is that it? Is that it?
Sorry.
I made a reset, Antonio.
It's your boy Salim.
And it's Mo.
What's up, guys? How have you been? Another week. What's been happening? What's the gossip?
The gossip is, I had enough. I can't take this lockdown anymore.
What do you mean? I can hear kids in the background. You're not even
so I've
isolated. You've
basically
never been
broken
isolated.
curfew.
You're just cheating all the time.
I've broken curfew. I'm currently at my family's house.
Irresponsible.
I am okay.
Hold on,
They
you
are
can
fine.
you can get arrested for this shit, and yeah, you're saying it like on a podcast.
I am. I am fine.
Did you not see the news last night? The
No, what
doctor, so the doctor that basically put all these rules into place had to resign from his job. He's like the chief advisor to the government because he's been
Oh, really?
he's been having an affair. So he's obviously been going round to her house. She's been coming round to his.
Oh, well, they're my neighbours. So what I do is I go over the fence and say hello to my neighbours. That's
Not
the way
your
it works
neighbours.
for me. Huh?
Your neighbours. You don't
Yes.
have neighbours that you talk to.
Well, now,
Huh?
Oh, why did you have to say that?
What's going on? What are you hiding?
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if you're at your neighbours. You're still breaking the law.
See, now he's said this. I'm worried now that they might turn up on my doorstep.
Disgraceful.
Don't worry, Eddie will hand them over the address when they contact him.
Yes. Indeed. So is that it? Just breaking curfew. That's all we've been doing all week.
No, mate, listen, I went, so instead of breaking curfew, you should do it like a law-abiding citizen. Twice this week, I've been for like a 9.5 mile walk.
What?
A 9.5 kilometer walk.
I was going to say.
When do you have time to do that though?
So yesterday, I woke up yesterday morning, my first meeting was at 8. At 6:30 in the evening, I was like, I've had enough of this. I literally just got up and just walked out and just started walking. And just walked.
See, I have to do more of that. Like, I'm getting into a bad habit that if I'm not going to watch something, and I have nothing really else to do, or I'm not going to edit something, I just decided I'm just going to take a nap. I'm just going to sleep.
Nah, see, I try to keep regular, as in like only really sleep at like when I'm supposed to go to sleep.
So,
Wait, what's the point? What difference does it make?
Wait, so, like, literally, you just decided... Where did you end up?
Well, no, because what I've been doing is, because I've been trying to do running, right? But because I haven't been walking, my leg muscles are, like, not as strong as they used to be, right? So, like, I thought if I just go for really long walks, but literally, like, go down Acton, go up to, like, the North Circular, go down, like, Western Avenue. So, basically keeping away from people. And then ended up like in Ealing Broadway. So literally went like a massive turnaround. Walked through all the residential areas, looked at all the houses I'll never be able to afford to live in.
Did you enjoy your walk?
Yeah, I had headphones on, was listening to podcasts.
See, do you remember, Eds, the amount of walking we used to do, like back in the days? I mean, we used to walk. I remember once we walked from Croydon all the way to Tooting and then back home.
Yeah. I did it from mine into central London, West London, and back when my mum kicked me out that one time. Yeah, a lot of times. I still do walk. Like, I would walk from work to home when we were still in the office. I would still do my little journeys, but not as far, obviously.
Is this now going to become a norm for you?
Well, I'd like to start doing like a walk one day and a run the next day type thing.
Yeah, should do.
Otherwise, it's just piling on the weight, right? You should see what I had for lunch the other day. I'll put it on our Instagram page, right? It was literally just salad and a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, that actually reminds me. The other day I was going to go to Eddie's house to give him some food, but like I fell asleep.
Why do you even bother telling me? We've been through this before. If you're going to do something like bring me food, but you end up not doing it, then don't ever tell me you were going to do it.
I want you to understand my thinking, my act.
It just shows that you don't care because you didn't end up doing it.
My act was to actually, I want you to think, right, son, see, if you reverse that, you would, if I heard that, I said, right, Eddie, Really? I just want to say thank you.
Even
though it's the thought that counts.
I was going to say, Salem died, and I was going to save him, but I couldn't. I forgot about it. Don't work. No, the thought does not count at all. So, what you guys been watching?
So are you putting it on then, Bo? Are you getting fat?
Well, this is it, right? If you don't do anything and you just eat, you are going to get fat.
Yeah.
I've lost.
You're fasting.
Yeah. So I've lost quite a lot of weight.
Mm.
Yeah.
Why are you fasting, Mo? Why are you kind of...
Because he's not a proper Muslim. That's the other week.
You want to be place, so why not?
These lot are just brainwashed.
See, that's actually a good point. You should just fast, right, if you're getting fat, to lose the weight.
Listen, you can't do a full, honest day's hard slog of work if you fast.
Oh, give it a rest. You're at home. Man.
I'm still working, mate. I'm more busy at home than I am in the office. I did that stress test on my phone yesterday. You know, when you put the finger on the heart sensor, the damn thing almost went off. It couldn't go any further.
The hell, your job? What you doing, man?
I am busy.
Jesus. All right. Well, what you guys been watching then?
So
let me guess. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Right. Okay. I'll go start. I've got to say, man, you know, this made me think the other day. So I'm going to start off with Star Trek. I'm going to start with Star Trek, right? And
it's old,
you know what, Eddie, you might as well just go dark on Zoom because, like, that face you made deserves a slap. You know that when I say the word Next Generation. As I watch this, now I'm like in a midway through season 2 now. I think to myself, I reckon all the time that Mo was talking about Picard, I could see it now. And maybe my review of Picard was wrong because I feel more connected to that character if I was watching that show now.
That does not make the show better than it was. Just because you may like the character a little more. It's still a shit-ass show.
Agreed. You're right. Yes, the show was still... But I reckon I could really connect to it and maybe sort of shift my view on what I thought about the overall show. I really do feel like that. I tell you this now, I cannot believe all this time when I was a kid, Mo, I want to apologize to you.
You should.
Right now, if I could see you, I would take you in the room, in your back room, and I would kiss you on the left cheek and the right cheek, and I would give you a big hug just to say, listen, all those times I was wrong as a kid by saying that this show was crap. This show is bloody brilliant.
Well, I've never been so glad for social distancing.
Right.
Stay away.
So look, it's quite obviously like any show, it's got its dodgy episodes, but I'm having a good time with this.
What's a good episode you've seen this week?
So a good episode is the first time, right, where they come across the Romulans, right, that they haven't seen in a long time.
Yep.
And the Eddie, get yourself up. And the Romulans, they don't attack the Romulans don't attack them, but they talk about this new threat.
Yeah.
You know the threat.
So I think you're like towards the end of season 1 now.
No. I'm on season 2.
Oh, you're on season 2, right?
Yeah, I'm in the midway through season 2. But they talk about the threat. Even episodes such as where they've got to go to this planet where this guy's a translator and he can't he's not a translator, but he can't communicate, so he's got 3 people.
Oh, that's a terrible episode, isn't it?
I know it, yeah, but I still like it. I know it's a terrible episode, but I still like it.
Man, you're going to love next season because next season, just like the quality just goes through the roof.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm enjoying that. But moving on, Eddie, get up now. So I watched this new show. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. I think it dropped just the other day, called Hollywood.
I've seen the trailer.
Right. On Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna put time to watch that, but I ended up watching something else. But
It's got the dude from Big Bang Theory in it.
Yes. Mo, did you say you've seen it?
No, I saw the trailer.
Right. I have watched the whole show.
Ooh.
The whole show.
How many?
Whole show.
How
guys,
many? 8, 9?
What's that?
How many? 8, 9?
I think there's 9 episodes. Yeah, 9, maybe 10. I think there are 9 episodes.
How long are the episodes? Like an hour?
Yeah, about an hour. Guys, this show is bloody brilliant, man. You know what I'm like. I take my time when it comes down to watching stuff. I literally, like, one episode after the other episode after the other episode. And you know what it's about, right? So
They're true stories, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm quite surprised because the trailer kind of looked a bit like it could be either way, and it looked like it probably would be rubbish. I might check it out now.
yeah.
I only heard about it from reading an article that was focusing on a couple of the stories of, what actually happened.
Yeah.
So,
I think the most funniest thing about the trailer was like the dude who plays Sheldon went into like literally at the end of the trailer, he just starts swearing, and you're kind of like, it's almost a shock value type thing.
Think about, obviously, 1947, right? And where, like the stories about the Harvey Weinstein and all that. This is at what it seems like at its max.
Yeah. That's what Hollywood was built on. The casting couch.
Absolutely.
Actresses,
all the casting couches,
with that director,
those stories, but the way they present them. But the crazy thing is that it really gets to you that how these people's lives are really affected. Like, some of these people have come back from the war, some of these people, some of them are gay, and how they're really, really, truly affected. And, it just gets you thinking, obviously, when it comes down to somebody of color wants to be a scriptwriter or be in the acting field, and their journey of actually trying to basically make it there, and how much more of a struggle it is for them. And I fell in love with the story. The second half, or the second last sort of quarter of the show, does kind of speed up a bit too much for me. Did for me. So the pacing changes. But again, guys, when you get a moment, check this out, because I think you'll thoroughly enjoy it. And I would like to share this sort of discussion with you guys once you've seen it.
So what would you give it then out of 5?
I would give it a 4 stars.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, everything.
Like a silent 4-star is almost like if we were to give something like a 7-star or something.
but I mean, like, and the script is good, the story is good, just the performances are good. And it's funny as hell, but at the same time, it's pretty sad as well at times. So, it doesn't
tell all the different stories in parallel, or was it focused on different stories each episode?
No. They all the stories are in parallel. They all go as, it's not one separate story for each episode. But the way these people's lives connect through, obviously them wanting to be actors or writers or directors or whatever, it's very, very good, very, very enjoyable. So again, get a moment, check it out. I want to sort of share your thoughts on this.
Okay.
I saw another show which I've nearly finished. It's called You're Dead to Me.
Oh, yeah. So this was quite popular last year, I think, and there's like a second series now.
So the second series drops on Friday,
right,
tomorrow, and I thought to myself,
sounds like a teen drama.
No, this had a lot of buzz last year.
Yeah, this show, right? I'm surprised that this one fell through the gaps for us, right? It's a simple story, right? It's about this woman whose husband dies. It's all in the trailer, so I'm not going to do any ruin it in any way. Whose husband dies, and she's going through this insane amount of grief, and she comes across this really interesting woman. This woman is nuts, right? And this woman takes her through her own personal crazy journey as well, where they become good friends. But there's a lot of other bullshit that happens along the way that I can't go into that would just like completely ruin it. But again, I am literally, I think I've only got, it's 10 episodes. Each episode's about 35 minutes. I think I've got at least about 4 episodes left. Again, just flying through the show. I am thoroughly enjoyed it. I would have actually finished it yesterday if it wasn't for something that happened. Like, that was a bit of a setback for me. But guys, again, check this out. I think you'll enjoy it.
So Netflix as well.
Netflix.
Yeah.
So so that's what I've been watching. I've been watching Star Trek and this. This.
Finally.
Done.
Yeah.
Finally. Not a lot for me this week. I checked out a show called Burning Love. It's an Amazon show. There's about, I think, 5 seasons, but I've only really just got started. But what it is, the premise of it, shows like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
The reality shows.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where it's got like one guy and he has all these women that live with him in the house. He has to choose those setups. Well, this is a scripted version of that, a comedy that takes the piss out of those shows.
Yeah, I can picture the main guy in it.
In the first, the whole cast is like all of these. You recognize so many of them, all these actors, and you think, oh, I know that, because they're like all those sort of comedy actors.
Yeah. I think I've seen a bit of this.
It's actually a lot of fun. It's worth watching.
They're short.
To watch.
They are really short episodes, aren't they?
Pretty quick. They get through pretty quick, but they're fun. Because it has that whole reality TV vibe. But it's all scripted, so you get the improvs and the jokes.
I think this was on Netflix before, and they had it as like 3 episodes. But it was like because they were so short, I think they'd edited them all together.
Oh, to like big long movies.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's on Amazon, so check that out. Checking out a Star show called Sweet Bitter, but I'm still early into that one. It's basically about this small town girl moves to the big city in New York. Remember Asylum when I first went to New York? Yeah. Me and Ravi, we came back and we were just in love with anything that was New York connected. It kind of gives me that vibe. And that's not to say it's like a fun, colorful show. It's kind of pretty miserable, but I don't know, there's something about the misery that brings me comfort.
The funniest thing about I just got to throw this in, is that when you guys came back from New York, you came back with all these clothes, this suitcase full of clothes.
Yeah.
Ravi, because nothing fit him. He wanted everything that you brought, but nothing wouldn't fit him because he's so tall. He just came back with the same set of clothes that he went with.
Which is weird because Americans are... Well, I know, they're more of a weight stuff. I don't know,
All right, so...
But yeah, she gets a job in this swanky restaurant. And I just find something about it really appealing. Some Stars, you guys want to check that one out if you want some drama. TV.
So what's that on?
Stars.
Okay.
It's like an add-on to Amazon.
Yeah.
And the main thing I was watching, I haven't finished it yet, it's called Gangs of London.
I've seen the trailer for that. That looked right dodgy.
No, sir. No, sir. You ever wonder after watching the Raid movies, what happened to his name? Wow, what was his name? Ryan Johnson?
No, you're talking about Gareth Evans.
Gareth Evans, that was it. You ever wonder what happened to Gareth Evans? He just disappeared. Well, like he came back to the UK, and this is his brainchild. He's teamed up with Sky Atlantic, and this is their original show. And
disappeared. Didn't he direct like Rogue One?
No, that was Ryan Johnson.
No, that was Ryan Johnson did episode 8.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't do. No. Look it up. He didn't do Rogue One.
All right, I'll look it up.
Go on, Ed. So
it's a crime. It's all about gangs of London. So you've got the regular ones, the Irish, blacks. You've got the Middle Easterns. You've got the Serbs. All of the various little groups that you have in London. And it's weird because it's a drama. He shoots it beautifully. So it doesn't look like a typical British show, where it has that high frame rate where it just looks too sharp and too ugly. They haven't got none of that. It's all very cinematic in its approach and its cinematography. But what's weird about it is that whenever violence happens, whenever some scene where people have to fight or something kicks off, suddenly it turns into the Raid because he actually is like the Raid.
Eddie, when is this? When is it set?
Now.
Oh, it's set now. Yeah.
One day, yeah.
So is that a good thing that it turns into the Raid?
It's a little jarring, but at the same time, it is cool because the Raid action is awesome. So when it kind of kicks off, like there's this guy who's like a low-level street grunt. He's trying to get a higher position in this particular organization he's trying to get into. So this Irish mob guy was killed. It's all in the first episode. So he has to try and get information. So he has to get to the Serbs. Like they're in the bar. I have to go into the bar, and it's full of all these people in the Serbs. So he decides to go in there, and as you can admit, as you expect, a big bar fight kicks off, and it's literally like the crazy whole fight scene in the first Raid. It's like that, crazy angles, crazy shots, people's limbs getting snapped and teeth getting smashed with the glass cigarette ashtrays and then smashed on the counters. It's crazy.
It's got an 8.6 on IMDb.
It's just started, so
yeah,
it's actually a lot of fun. You
Well, I
get
can
into
check
it
it out now.
once you get into the drama of it, the pace.
It
First
is
episode's kind of slow.
the one thing I always find off-putting about British dramas is the level of acting, the London accent, which always just seems so
Yeah,
harsh.
I know what you mean, Mo.
This jumps around because you, like I said, you've got all the different
Right.
groups. So you've got the Irish and Gypsies as well, which are another big group in this.
Yeah.
So,
By the way,
yeah,
I was mistaken. It is Gareth Edwards directed Rogue One.
Yeah, there you go.
And does it have like a Guy Ritchie feel to it in any way as well? Like it's this sort
Dealing
of
with British
gangsters and all that.
gangsters, you kind of have that, but there isn't the humor of what a Guy Ritchie movie has. You know, he always has that sort of quick-witted banter.
Right.
This doesn't.
It's got Chief O'Brien in it.
Yeah, he's up in it.
Oh man, I've seen so much of Chief O'Brien. I might just go back to watching this show as well now.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think they're trying to inject a little Game of Thrones backstabbing intrigue into it, but I'll let you know. I'll keep going.
I think you've sold me on this now, so I've got to watch this and Hollywood.
Watch Hollywood first.
Go straight to Hollywood. I'm going to jump onto Hollywood. Let me see if this falls apart or not. And I'll let you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. It's all new, Mo.
So I haven't actually watched that much. I've watched nowhere near as much as you two. But like the new little section I'd like to introduce while I do what I've been watching is what has arrived in the mailbox.
Money down for it. How many seasons is that on?
So that is, well, it's 4 seasons, but the 4th season apparently is just 6 episodes that Netflix commissioned to finish off the story. Because apparently the 3rd season finished on a cliffhanger, and then it got cancelled.
Wait.
It was on Netflix for a while, but now it's gone.
But they commissioned the 6 seasons. So why isn't that?
Well, it's probably like this was years ago, so they probably had their show and now it's gone somewhere.
Wait a minute, that's bizarre that it's not on Netflix now.
Yeah, if they paid for that season,
It's only like 6 episodes.
Would have kept it. Oh.
And a couple of films by John Woo, one of these starring Jackie Chan.
Oh, those are old.
Yeah, like from the 70s. Yeah. And do you remember this old classic? I think this used to have the tagline presented by Quentin Tarantino.
The Lion Monkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right. So, yeah.
Have you started on Nikita yet?
No, I haven't. No. I think the problem is I've got too many shows on the go. So I've got like Star Trek The Next Gen, Buffy, Angel. So I need to like finish Buffy and Angel so I can actually start watching like other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But for things I have actually watched, so last weekend I went old school again. At the weekend, Saturdays, I generally try to do a Jackie Chan movie. I did Winners and Sinners. This is like a 1983, I want to say. Sammo Hung. Now, I say Jackie Chan, but he's hardly in this movie. But if you have seen this film, it's an absolute classic. It's like these 5 thieves that essentially right at the beginning of the movie all commit a crime individually and all get arrested and they all meet in jail. And when they get out of jail, they're basically all living together and go and have like a little caper. It is funny as hell.
I vaguely remember this. It's not one of the ones that I watched a lot.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time remembering what the big story is. But I remember the weird little eccentric group of...
Yeah. There's like about 6 of these films, but only like the first 3 are like the ones that are regarded as like being pretty good. And you can even remove like all the scenes that Jackie's in, and it wouldn't really affect the film. Like he literally just appears every now and then and does something.
Well, some of the sequels, the Twinkle Twinkle stars as well.
Yeah, so the next one is Twinkle Twinkle, My Lucky Star. And I can't remember what the 3rd one is.
Yeah.
You know, you every week when you come on, like, and just talk about these Jackie Chan films.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like a floodgate that just opens up for me anyway. Probably for Eddie as well. Like, because us growing up, 13, 14 years of age, we will watch the friggin' movies, and then we will go off doing these stunts. I'm surprised we're not dead yet, Eddie.
No,
honestly.
How are we not in wheelchairs, man?
Yeah, honestly, we used to do some really messed up shit.
Have you gotten to the point yet, Mo, where you can recognize Yonbu yet? Because you
Oh yeah. Oh no, he's very recognizable.
I'm not hearing you give credit to Yonbu, man.
Yeah, Yonbu is proper badass.
I mean, so I've actually got hold of one of these films, and it's called So I think the English title at some point it might have bbeen called Above the Law. Righting Wrongs, I think is what its proper title is.
Of the Law,
With-
yeah.
Yeah, with Cynthia Rothrock. So I'm looking forward to watching that. He is. I was listening to some of the audio commentaries from some of Jackie's other movies. So they've got like Hong Kong movie experts that do them.
Yeah.
They were all saying that Yuan Biu probably had he was probably the most physical out of those. He probably was the best performer.
He was the acrobat.
Just never really got into the same stratosphere of fame.
It's weird because he had he was a likable guy.
Yeah,
He had a good look about him. So
Good looking dude.
Yeah, I think the thing was both Jackie and Samo, they wanted to go and direct and make their own movies where he never really did. He was just an actor. So he never really got his own star vehicles.
even with Jet Li, he wasn't a director, but he still managed to blow up. So.
Yeah, it's a different time though, Eddie.
Yeah.
Different time. I mean, do you know what I mean? I know. So listen. So you know that you've seen all these Samo movies, right?
Yeah.
And Jackie movies, right?
Yeah.
When will we get our when you're going to start watching? Was it Martial Law?
I was looking on YouTube the other day, right, to actually see if they had any episodes.
Yeah, that's your next job. Once this is all done,
I do still watch that.
I was willing to check it out. What I am going to try and do before we record our Rush Hour one, Eddie, is watch the first episode of the Rush Hour TV series because I did not know there was one of those.
Yes, you did. We spoke about it on the show.
I must have wiped it from my memory because I was like, "There's a Rush Hour TV show."
Yeah, I think one season and
it looks pretty bad. Also checked out a movie called Love on Delivery, which was I think I spoke about it last week, so I'd started watching it but I hadn't finished. Stephen Chow, obviously another great of Hong Kong cinema. So he did Kung Fu Hustle and Shaolin Soccer, so that guy. Really cool film. I mean, you've literally got to enjoy the weird humor of Hong Kong cinema to enjoy these types of films. But yeah, I really liked it. It again, almost all these movies seem to be Shaolin Soccer, but it's the same kind of story.
Would you rate it?
Love on Delivery, I'd give that a 3. It's decent entertainment. If you don't enjoy Hong Kong cinema, you probably won't enjoy it. Rick and Morty is back.
I haven't watched that. I kept seeing things to remind me of it, but then I'd forget.
Yeah.
Actually check it out.
And they're back in style. Great episode. I won't spoil the plot for you. We'll talk about it next week when you have watched an episode.
How many is it this half of the season? Is it just
So I don't know what's going on here because they only showed 5 episodes before it went off on this really long break. So this is like episode 6 of season 4.
Is this on Netflix, right?
No, so I think now Channel 4 have somehow managed to outbid Netflix for the new episodes.
Yeah, it's mad. Like Channel 4 got this, and they're going to show Harley Quinn as well in the same block right after this.
Yeah.
People still watching terrestrial telly, they're going to be in for a treat, man, with these two.
Yeah.
Friggin' heck. Channel 4, hey? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So should we do Westworld next? Do you have to go off at 8 o'clock?
No, I'm all right because Fast doesn't open until past.
Oh, okay, right.
Let's do it, Ma.
Should go for the news. Right, let's have a look and see what's been going on in the world. So, their little story broke out this week about Disney's next live-action movie that they're going to be doing, right? And now they're going to be pillaging Hercules. And it's actually got the Russo brothers producing. And the very first thought that came to mind about this, there's one of 2 actors that I think are going to be Hercules, right? It's going to be either The Rock
Hercules, but it's not going to be him.
Or it's going to be Batista.
Too old, man.
Yeah.
Too old, you reckon, for Hercules?
Yeah.
Who else could
Hercules
play
He looks like shit, Mo. Have you seen a picture of Batista when he's not in Drax makeup? He looks like he's a melting candle.
Really?
Yes.
You know what? Hercules, the look of Hercules would not fit Batista. Definitely not. I don't even think the look for Hercules fits The Rock either.
So are you saying that on the outlier it's John Cena?
He's doing acting as he does now.
Yeah, if they go down Hercules' story, depending on if it's going to be it's going to be like a bit more for comedy, I would have thought that could work for John Cena.
Those Disney cartoons are literally the live action movies are pretty much not like the cartoons. So.
And I don't think I've ever seen the cartoon of Hercules.
Good.
It is. They're always good. Yeah, I think maybe even Cena might be too old, man. He's in his 40s, and the character it's more like in his 20s in the cartoon.
Well, that's another good point as well.
Who are you going to get in their 20s that's like proper jacked up and is
There's loads of people.
Yeah, but who's a recognizable actor?
They don't need him. Look at who's the recognizable person in Aladdin.
Or
Will Smith.
That was it. The genie. That was it. Everyone else was forgettable.
Or what's it? Mulan as well.
Huh?
Mulan.
Yeah, true. Mulan. Well, we haven't seen how that's going to do yet.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Right. So, Mr. Sylvester Stallone been quite busy in recent years, right? He's done a Creed movie. He's done Rambo. He seems to be wanting to resurrect one of his other old. I was going to say franchises, but it's not really a franchise because it was one movie. So recently, in an interview, he was asked about Demolition Man 2, and he goes, he is in talks with the studio about this.
If you come to me and said they want to redo Demolition Man from scratch, then I'd be interested because it was a good concept. You know, this police officer that got blamed for this deaths of these hostages and got put in cryo prison and then got fought out after the guy he was after got fought out by someone else. There's a good, idea there for good, cool action, everything. But Stallone doing it. God.
Well, this way they get to keep the 3 shells.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with Eddie here. Like, if you go back to the actual story, you could play around with this world so much, and you could create something pretty cool by bringing in new actors.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When I think about Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone together,
oh my God! I forgot Snipes was in it.
Yeah, but he had his head chopped off and shattered into glass at the end. But can you imagine that sort of sci-fi setting mode, but with extraction level action?
I'll be honest. Look, the movie's so old now. I don't really care about a sequel or anything.
That's what I'm saying. A new film with that sort of setup.
Yeah,
so good. Solid. We still watch
the other
Extraction.
thing is this, right?
Solid. We still haven't watched Extraction yet.
No.
Jesus.
So here's the other thing: is that Demolition Man. It's been way too long as well, man. Like, if Demolition Man maybe came out like 5 years after the first one, then I could turn around and say, okay, cool. But it's just been way too long.
Yeah, but when did that stop him, man? He still did Rambo.
Oh, it's not going to stop him, but it's just like the buzz of Demolition. Because I remember when Demolition Man first came out, I was like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I actually knew a guy who was actually in Demolition Man. You know, the opening scene where, I'm thinking about another film, actually. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
It
surprised me because Stallone's also talking about how he might not be in the next Creed film.
Yeah.
But he's got an idea for a Rocky sequel.
Oh, right. So he wants to get back in the ring. He wants to be the star.
Well, this is a Creed now. He wants to be the focus of that franchise again.
See,
ruin everything that Creed's a shot.
Because can you imagine in the next Creed movie, right, starting a storyline for Stallone that then goes off into his own film?
He's supposed to have died. That should have been how it ended. Gets cancer.
He was like, and he's dead. Oh yeah, he was like in bed, dying of cancer in the last film, wasn't he?
Door. That would have been the perfect end for the character, but nope. Stallone just can't let go.
You're a sick fuck. Like a perfect end to the guy like dying in agony of cancer.
Yes.
I look. I'm not. I agree with you that Eddie is a sick fuck, right? But I still think that story of that dude dying would have probably been better.
Yep.
That character, Rocky, dying, yeah, because you've got to get rid of him. Like, he's got cancer.
Yeah.
Couldn't even stand.
Man. What's he going to be? He's going to have a charity fight to raise money for cancer or some shit? That's going to be his motivation for his next fight in the next movie? Ugh, fuck off.
Yeah, no, I can't see that happening. But if I said to you, Tom Cruise, you've seen him do everything, right? You've seen him, like, fly a helicopter. You've seen him strap himself to the side of a plane. What could he do next, right, that would excite you?
You've seen him fight mummies.
You've seen him fight mummies.
I'm convinced, Mo, we spoke about this before in this podcast. I'm convinced Tom Cruise is a manic depressant who the only thing that keeps him living is making films that secretly he wants to die on camera.
But he's
in the process of making a movie.
All right, okay. What can somebody fill me in here? What's going on?
So Tom Cruise, along with like Elon Musk, has got some involvement in this because
And
obviously, and NASA, because obviously they're in space. They are going to shoot a movie in space.
He's gonna go to space, not do it on CG. He wants to physically go into space to shoot either a full movie or a major sequence of a film in space. He wants to die. I'm convinced of it.
No, going to space doesn't kill you.
Last friggin' SpaceX launch blew up.
They're not going to use. That's why NASA's involved, right? They're going to use like proper, like NASA certified space shuttles.
What's doing there then? What's the point of him being there then?
Right. Okay. So here's a few questions here, man. What the hell is going to be the budget on this thing?
Yeah, it's expensive to get into space. Yeah. So imagine getting all those cameras, those lights. So yeah, I don't think the whole film could be shot in space. It's surely got to be like a certain sequence.
That's why you team up with NASA. You just hop on one of their. Next time they're going up to the space.
Yeah, but NASA don't have their own shuttles at the moment, right? So they've got to go to Russia. So I don't know what year it is that the first US shuttles are supposed to arrive.
So I guess that's why I want to say it will be a fucking SpaceX shuttle. We'll get to watch
the thing, right?
Explode and die live on TV.
There you go. That's the ending of your film. Instead of dying of cancer, Tom Cruise explodes in a ball of fire.
No, all right, okay. So apart from talking about Tom Cruise's death, does this film, just the idea of this movie being completely shot in space without the CG, right? Does it interest you?
It's a Tom Cruise movie.
Tom Cruise in space.
As far as we know, we don't know what this project is. It might not be a full movie. It might just be the ending of the last Mission Impossible movie he's going to do, which would be like, what more insane end to a Mission Impossible thing could there be than him in space on the National Space Station?
That explodes at the end.
Exactly. Taking out somebody who's probably trying to...
And it'll be like, we actually exploded like the real ISS station.
Yeah, because they've been talking about getting rid of it quite a bit. So maybe...
Well, I think it's like the end of its like lifespan that it was like built for.
So from a marketing point, I reckon this is a good move. Because, because people would want to know, because this film could be crap, right? But I still want to see it. Even though we're talking about it.
Do you think like for years after they make this, they'll have the conspiracy theories like they never actually went to space, it was all done in the studio?
Always. Like there's always people that have to believe. Like when SpaceX shot the Tesla car in space, people just convinced.
Because that made no sense whatsoever. Like imagine like in like thousands of years that car will like float to like an alien world, right? And they'll be like, what the fuck has just arrived? What is this?
A mannequin. That's what humans are. But yeah, it's odd. But
I bet you the number of Teslas did probably go up. Because like people were talking about it.
That's it. But it's the people that never believe that these things are real. Yeah. They haven't seen space in 4K before. Yeah. So it just looks too digital to them.
I reckon, like, when you talk about these, conspiracy theories, like, if you took one of these dudes, like, and said, all right, we're going to take you into space, I still don't believe he will believe that he's in space. Or she.
Flat earthers. We see it with the flat earthers. They still find a way to justify what they're seeing as not being real. It's not curvature of the earth I'm seeing. It's some other distortion of some other bullshit.
I would love for like the head of the Flat Earth Society to be basically taken up in a rocket and shown, and then watch him cry, or watch him like saying, "No, that's an illusion." Yeah,
that's what he say. I'm in the studio. You drugged me with LSD or something.
Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Yeah, you still want to believe it. All right. Yeah. Okay.
No, I look forward to this. I think this is like really pushing the envelope, doing something different.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Rest in peace, Tom Cruise, when it eventually happens.
Obviously, I forgot to put this on the trailers thingy. I did send you guys a link, though. Talking of space, did you guys see the trailer for Space Force?
I did, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
I didn't enjoy it either.
What?
It wasn't funny. It was just dull.
I cut out halfway. I stopped watching the trailer.
You were wrong. You were wrong.
I was expecting like a full laugh a minute sort of fun in space version of like, I don't know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something. But it was just
For me, it was
will
trying
be.
way.
It will be. It will be. Don't worry.
If they
For me, it
can't
was
find the
just
fun in
trying way too
the
hard.
trailer, then what?
Because you don't want the thing where it says they put all the jokes in the
No,
trailer.
you do. You want to get people to watch it, so that's what they do. They put all the best bits in the trailer. This couldn't have any.
No, it will be good. Don't worry.
All right, well, you tell us.
Yeah, you
I will. Right. So I know you
Actually,
haven't
wait a
seen
minute. When is it
Extraction.
coming out?
End of this month.
No.
Right. So I know you haven't seen Extraction 2 yet, but Netflix and the Russos are streaming ahead with plans to do an Extraction 2 because apparently this has become their most streamed movie yet.
Biggest opening.
Yes, that is that popular. That's the buzz around this film.
Overtook Bright, I think was the last one.
Surely Bright's been like done. That's been like almost like well over a year now, isn't it?
I mean, that was like the biggest thing that they had at that point.
Well, no, every couple of months they have like a new movie that says like it's been their biggest film to date.
Bigger than Bright since
Bright wasn't. Do you remember the panning that Bright got?
Yeah, but I mean, Smith thing. It was a lot of people watched it. What other big films have Netflix?
What's it called? Blind? What's that?
The Irishman.
Bird Box?
Bird Box, The Irishman.
No, Blur Box was before. I think was that before Bright? I think it was. Was it?
Good question.
Irishman though could have been up there. I think.
So this is like the biggest ever. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's become like one of their biggest ever.
Yeah,
So
the biggest stream.
You should.
Well, clearly, obviously, everyone's at home, so like, let's watch the biggest movie out at the moment because like all the cinema releases, we're not going to get to watch those.
Or was a convincing action star, which it just shows you, man, to give them a decent vehicle and it can work.
Yeah,
it could work. Vin Diesel, if you're watching, learn your lessons, man. Let the director and the writer do their thing and don't get your hands in it.
We'll talk about Vinny in a bit, right? Because we have actually got a news item about him.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But this stuff kind of ruined the end of the movie, though.
Yeah, well, can we talk about the end of the film yet? Salim hasn't seen it.
No, you can't. You can't talk about the end.
So you didn't give a shit about it.
I'm going to watch it. Can't talk about the end. Talk about the end offline.
Okay. Right, so this is one that you put up here. I completely forgot this actually happened this week, but Battlestar Galactica reboot. So we spoke about this before. There's a reboot happening for the Peacock streaming service, which really sounds like it's some sort of adult fetish streaming service. Now has a showrunner and lead writer, Michael Leslie.
Yeah, the producer behind this, the guy that obviously in the whole project, is the dude behind
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot, yeah.
But he's not the main showrunner.
Yeah, sadly though, he's not the main thing. So we've got this other guy who's done questionable resume, shall we say?
Questionable? And that's Jason's Creed movie.
Yeah.
And The Little Drummer Girl, which I've never heard of.
Never heard of that one. There was one other one he did as well, but it's not showing on this link that you've got it connected to.
Yep.
But yeah, what worried me as well is that the showrunner they brought on, wanted to tell a fresh Battlestar story. But
so that is a stipulation from Ronald D. Moore.
The other guy wants it to be within the same universe as his original.
So the original 70s or the reboot?
The reboot version.
So I've been listening to some of these like Fat Man Beyond ones, and they've had like people from Battlestar Galactica on that podcast, and they've obviously been talking to Ronald D. Moore, who's basically said, I give my blessing for this to be redone. He goes, obviously, I took someone else's property and I redone it. He goes, the only thing I ask, the characters that I created, they are not used in this because they are mine. He goes, you're welcome to use like all the originals.
So that's where this is problematic because they loved that remake version and they're saying it's going to be within the universe. So we don't know what capacity.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a different group of humans that went in the other direction.
Well, I mean, you could still have like Adama, you could still have Boltar because they were part of the originals, but all those other characters around them, they were all new.
The problem is they've all aged a decade or more. Still.
Yeah, but you would have new actors, all right?
Oh yeah.
At this stage.
You're going that way, yeah. But
Like, how? When was the last? When was the last one? When did the last one come out? Was it 2000 and?
So I think Battlestar Galactica started in about 2004, if I remember correctly. So that lasted 4 seasons. So about 2008, it must have been done.
yeah, over 10
2008.
years.
Is this something you guys are interested in? Something you want to see? I'm like, I think I'm done with it.
It was a
I
perfect.
really am. They did Battlestar Galactica, and then they did some, if I'm not mistaken, did they do some like side?
They did like the Caprica.
Yeah, and all that. And as much as I did enjoy it, I don't think I want to see anything, because I don't want to see, if they do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them doing a reboot, restarting from the beginning.
No, they said, like I was saying, it's not from the beginning. It's within the universe of.
Oh, right.
Well, they could do like a reimagining in the same universe, right? Have the same sort of concept. I think the Cylons might be a bit difficult because obviously, again, Ronald D. Moore was the one who decided to give them like human-like skin rather than having them as like robots from like the original 70s.
That should be okay.
Did have the robots there though, so
yeah.
Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just from a different part of the universe.
I'm kind of interested because obviously this will be like a flagship show for Peacock, so they'll throw money at it. It won't be like it's on Sci-Fi Channel and it's just another show that they've got.
Why did he panic? Why did he even blank the screen for?
No, someone's gone into a room.
What's he scared of? What are you scared of?
I'm scared of somebody just frigging raising their voice.
Why are you so ashamed of us? Why are you hiding us?
I'm not hiding you. I'm hiding like somebody that running in and raising their voice.
So, time to go away.
Says the guy who couldn't even like talk on the phone when he lived at home.
What I was going to do is I was actually going to start shouting. There's going to see the dark, like the Cargay Salim. That's what you were going to see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I panicked. Like, could you see it was about to come out of my body? It was like,
yeah,
that'd be entertaining.
Well, actually, speaking of Cargay, where the fuck have you been?
I've been working, mate. I've been busy.
On Saturdays, Sundays, you work, do you?
I like my Saturday's my vegetable time.
Oh, you've been having your Street Fighter Online game?
He doesn't friggin'. Do you know what? I don't want to play with you ever again. Anyway, sorry, we can continue now.
Right, so Battlestar Galactica, it's kind of like a thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs down from both of you. You're not even curious.
Give us something new. Like, I get Peacock. Look, I get
Assassin's Creed.
What?
Assassin's Creed, did you ever see that?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't. No, I don't want to see it.
There you go. That's those we need to know.
Look, I get why Peacock's team have come up with this idea of, look, let's go down this route because there's a load of followers that, love this franchise. Let's make something of this. I get it. But personally, I have no interest. I'm burnt out with it.
Right, let me ask you another question then. Do you have interest in a new Star Wars film?
No.
Even if I said to you, Taika Waititi is confirmed to write and direct a new Star Wars movie. A man who has shown he has got a unique voice.
Hey, look, Taika Waititi is friggin' awesome.
Taika.
What's his friggin' name? I can't say it.
It took me a long time. Taika, right?
Tiger. I saw this okay. Taika is badass. I'll give him that. But do something else. Don't do friggin' Star Wars, man. Star Wars, come on.
It's a whole new story, a whole new saga.
Oh.
So it won't have...
Right, okay.
So it's brand new.
Go there.
Yeah, there's no Skywalkers now. This is a whole new thing.
Old Republic, I'm in.
You can't do a new thing with an old thing.
I want to see those friggin' stories those animated stories. I want to see some of those brought to life.
No, I want to see them go. I want to see them go into 80 years into the future and do Star Wars: The Next Generation.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, they won't even. Oh no, yeah, forget it. You know what?
What, you want to see Star Wars Deep Space Nine?
I'd hate to admit this, but I think
Star Wars Voyager?
I think I may be sliding into Salem's side of the equation on this. I'm actually getting burnt out. I'm thinking like they've destroyed Star Wars.
Oh, I'll tell you how far I have fallen, right? So today, Star Wars Steelbook Episode 4 4K went on sale on Zavvi. I was kind of like, yeah, I don't think I want that. Mr. Vampire, a movie I've never seen, right? But produced by Samo, special edition, beautifully restored. Went up, and I was like, I've got to have that.
Oh, you've never seen Mr. Vampire?
I've never seen Mr. Vampire.
Fun. The kung fu in that is some of the most inventive shit. Like, the Chinese vampires are different than what we have in the West. They're more like zombies.
Yeah, the trailer looked nuts.
They hop around and they got their hands, but trying to have a fight.
Yeah, they were doing that in the trailer. Yeah.
I look, guys, as much as
sequel as well. Keep an eye out for that one.
Yeah, I will do. I kind of do agree with you guys. I think the last couple of films have been so bad that I do not care.
Yeah.
But they do need to bring this property under control because there is stories to be told, there is money to be made, there is entertainment to be had.
Do you think it's going to have
there is
Taika's voice?
I think we get to what's that, Eddie?
You know what's going to happen? In about 2 weeks' time, you're going to find Taika has left the project because of differences with Kathleen Kennedy.
You can't have Star Wars with that mad humor.
Look, this has fallen so far off now, the cliff, right? It's just that, like, let it fall. Don't save it now.
No, mate, they've invested $4 billion in buying the license.
Oh, come on.
They need to make billions and billions back. Especially in their financial state that they're in at the moment. Did you see that headline the other day? They've lost like 1.4. Was it? No, it can't be 1.4 billion. It must be a lot more than that. But obviously they are suffering at the moment.
And you know what? I tell you this now, right? Hercules stands a better chance of bringing that money back than Star Wars does right now.
I think a Star Wars-led movie with Taika's voice could really revive the entire franchise.
That's the problem. Is it going to have his voice, though? Because his voice is a little too out there.
You do not hire a man like Taika to not see his, like, individualism.
You forget who's the friggin' in charge of all of this shit.
I think there's good. I think
flies above, spitting flames over everyone's creativity.
I think Taika is probably a strong enough, like, personality to stand up.
Well, hold up. Yeah, stand up and leave.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done. Out. Yeah. No hope.
Right. Before we do mini news, should we do Westworld? Because obviously Asylum's going to go off.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Right. So Westworld season 3 has come to an end. Episode 8.
Finale. End of the world, quite literally. How do you feel about Asylum?
This has got to be, I think, with
Does the size of Jesse Pinkman's head annoy you sometimes?
Jesse Pinkman? Nah, he didn't annoy me.
The size of his head, it takes up so much of the screen because it's just so massive, like the forehead.
No, it's just a shot, isn't it? It's just the way that I zoom in.
No, but he's always had that mad, freakishly large head. He's like one of those toys. What are they called? The ones with like the big head.
Oh, is it the Funko Pops?
No, like a living Funko Pop.
If you were, Eddie.
It's not that big.
Eddie. If I was directing a movie and you could act like Jesse Pinkman, I would zoom into your face. The emotion, the tears, the rage.
He doesn't do any of that. He just broods.
So, okay. So this season, look, I'm going to lock this in what this show did for me as a whole season, right? I was on the train from the very beginning. Every episode friggin' did something special for me. And it just, for me, it did not disappoint. It just kind of, the way it ended was fine for me. I liked everything about it. And those close-ups that you're talking about, Eddie, about Jesse Pinkman, I enjoyed those too.
Oh, it wasn't even the close-ups. That's the problem. They didn't need to do close-ups for his head to take over the whole shot. It's that big. But that aside, yeah, I had fun with this. I like where it sets us up for season 4. Because it really kind of, we've gotten rid of Blondie, Terminator chick. It looks like she's pretty much done for now. even watching the
You
behind the
reckon?
scenes.
You reckon she's
behind the
gone?
scenes after
No,
this.
I reckon Dolores will be back.
Behind
In.
the, I was watching the behind the scenes after this, and even there, they were really saying that this is a wrap up for the actress.
Oh right, okay.
She's the star of the show.
Not anymore.
And that's one of the problems I've had with this season, right? Almost all the characters you become accustomed to watching have almost gone.
Yeah, and she's the next one to go. So now it's going to be Maeve and Tessa. What's her face?
Who was hardly in this episode as well.
Lowering heads, but now that she's there and she's really gone full evil, and she's in like some Abu Dhabi. Did you see the little stinger at the end? Well, basically, we saw. Why am I forgetting everybody's name? The black guy, the black host. Bernard, yeah. We saw him wake up in the hotel room, covered in dust. So he's been there for years. So the next season is going to be a leap forward because he's wake up. So he's been in there for years, which is weird because aren't there maids that have to go in there every day to clean up? Which is bizarre.
Hold on. So at the end of the episode, he's got that thing strapped to his head. Are you saying he just passed out and he's been there for years?
Yeah.
So Matey Boy's just died in the bathtub.
Well, he's probably been stalled. They're just going to hibernation. He's
right.
a robot, isn't it? So he'll really die. But anyway, yeah, he wakes up covered in dust. And we see...
Whoa, hold on. I could answer that question. You said maids going into the room.
Yeah.
The world has gone to crap.
It's true, but it's a hotel.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. It's like, well, we ain't going in. That dude's dead.
But basically, we see the Delios has like an Abu Dhabi facility. And
right.
They go
backup facility.
We go there, goes into the basement, and we see Tessa, what's her face, building a whole army of hosts. A whole army of them. You see the lights come on, the whole shit ton.
And they all look like Dolores.
No, we don't know what they're going to look like. So, yeah, it's going to be a full war. So it's going to be her just... Whereas Dolores was trying to free the human race, not destroy it, just free it. It looks like Tessa, whatever her character's called, is looking to legit destroy everybody with her army.
All right. Okay. I'm actually going to go back to see this now. Like, all right. So, okay. So for you, complete thumbs up. You enjoyed this season and you're looking forward to...
Yeah, there was maybe 2 episodes that I wasn't that keen on, but yeah, loved it. Had so much fun. Loved the aesthetic of it. I loved the whole new direction the show took after season 2 was a bit disappointing as hell.
And,
I'm really into
Mo, I take it Picard is still way higher than this show.
You keep going back to the whole Picard thing, right? You got
I love Picard.
You got to talk about these 2 shows independently, right? This thing was just, again, I've been saying this since season 1. It thinks it's far cleverer than it actually is. And what really annoyed me was, like, this whole season, they've had this arc for Maeve where she's supposed to hunt down and kill Dolores, right? And at the end, like, typically, we all knew this was going to happen. She somehow is able to overcome, like, the programming in her and kill Serac. And literally, like, it's kind of like just pointless.
All right. Okay. Look. I'll meet you. Yeah. You know, 15%, and I'll even go so far as agree. All right. Yeah. There are moments in the show that I feel that they kind of just, hey, let's just do this because it works. Right. Like you mentioned, like 1 minute she's on this dude's side, and then all of a sudden she sees the light.
I would have probably enjoyed it if they trimmed it by 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, this was like a full movie length.
Yeah. And the pace just seemed to be slow. The end bit, the actual bit at the end where the end credits roll was really good. No, I mean, is where they actually lay out the end game, right? The fact that she goes, where I'm trying to free you, I'm trying to basically show you that you're not a killer, that you're one man who showed me one moment of kindness.
I like they didn't do the typical thing of them falling in love.
Well, she did allude to the fact that that's why he helped her.
Yeah, but
those effects, the effects on that bit were really good, right? Yeah, so her head looked really weird, but when she put the skin on her arm, that literally looked as though like it was real.
Yeah, that was good. So cool.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So complete season wrap.
So you can see he's desperate to get off here now because of all the noise in the background.
What? Yeah, complete season wrap. What did you give it out of 10? Out of 5?
4.5.
Oh, really? You give it 4.5?
I enjoy it. I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. And like I said, the aesthetics just took over, man. I love them. So
Mo, what do you give it?
I would give this like a 2. I'd never want to see it again.
Picard was a 2. Come on, this is better than that.
Picard was like on steroids 5+.
Oh, seriously,
Yeah,
what do you give it?
I'll give
No,
this.
seriously, a 2.
2.
I would never want to watch it again.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 stars.
Okay, but you liked it more than me. I thought I
No.
was being generous by giving it 4.5.
No. I'll give it 4 stars.
Now I want to give it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I've done it too high now. I feel like I should do 4.
Yeah, you should have been 4.
You should have been 4.5.
I should have been 3.5. And Mo should have been like, he's at the right rating that he normally reviews stuff like this at.
Makes everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to change your review?
I'm going 4.
All right.
I think we've spent longer talking about the rating than the actual episode.
Oh, I will say this. I did like what you sent me, Mo.
Oh, yeah. So I sent you guys earlier a little bit of test footage that the actress who plays Dolores did, where she was basically doing that dress you see earlier in the season, where she goes from like the short cocktail dress to like the long evening gown one. And I must have watched that thing 100 times, and you cannot see the excess material or anything like that. But it must be a bitch to fold up, right?
There's a bunch of them. There's like a whole fashion show a couple of years ago of the person that created that.
Yeah.
You see them on the catwalk just pulling them off.
One thing, did you not find the whole storyline for Bernard this season just seemed pointless? Like he was hardly in it.
It was kind of, it was a bit wayward and.
Yeah, even in this episode, like he's there at the beginning and then you don't really see him again till the end.
Look, Eddie looks like he wants to drop his review now for an extra half a star.
Bernard wasn't given a whole lot to do. I guess the actor probably felt like this was an easy payday this year.
Yeah, Bernard was just like a bit.
He got nothing.
Slightly a bit weak.
After being almost like, I would have assumed he was the star of the first 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
He seems to be almost relegated this season.
The comedy relief, if that, 'cause he's just bumbling around.
The unintentional comedy relief.
Yeah, still love it though. But yeah, Westworld, we enjoyed it.
Done. Been renewed for season 4. God knows when that will be.
I hear they want to go to 5th to 5 seasons, so plenty of time, plenty of fun on them.
Say what?
They're saying they want to go to 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
2 more.
I'm definitely up for that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You look like shit. I got to watch another 2 seasons of this.
Oh no, man!
I pretend to like it.
I was so disappointed that when it came to an end, I was like, "Oh man!" Like really, really excited about this.
I'm so glad now because I was forcing myself to watch that every week. I was like, "Oh, it's Tuesday night. I got to watch this shitty thing." Right. I've got a piece of news that's going to make both of you really happy and made me a bit surprised. Vin Diesel, I didn't say we'd speak about him again, offers an update on Riddick 4, saying that the script is nearly finished. So Eddie will tell us about this, but I want to say there's a Riddick 3 and there's a Riddick 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was shit.
I remember 2. I haven't seen 2, but that was like was that the one that was out as like...
Riddick,
yeah.
With the underverse, the people who are half dead and half alive.
I've never seen 2 either.
What's mad is that what started off as such an awesome film, right? My God, how far has this fallen? Like,
yeah, terrible. But then he's desperate for a franchise out of the part that's aside from the Fast and the Furious to legitimize his star power because he hasn't got one. He sees The Rock being like the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and he needs something to justify his position, and he hasn't got nothing. Everything fails.
Wait, hold on. Eddie, man, it is a bloody big achievement to have like the highest grossing like franchise, one of the highest grossing franchises of all time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's an ensemble piece.
Huh?
It's an ensemble piece. That's why when he wasn't there.
No, but that's how you see it. He clearly doesn't see it like that.
He needs to legitimize his position by showing that he can do it with other things. And he can't. Because Witch Hunter failed.
Yes.
Riddick keeps failing. Triple X keeps failing. And what was the like? Bloodshot. All these things are supposed to be franchises just keep dying.
But look, they must still do money at the box office, right?
What does?
Do they?
What?
None of them are hits.
I suppose they keep on giving it to him because of Fast and Furious, right?
Yes, pretty much.
To keep him happy, to make sure he comes back for the next one.
I mean, like, quite frankly, if he does not appear in the Fast and Furious film, it's over. It's like, forget it.
Good. That's what.
No, it wouldn't. It would not. Eddie, there is no Fast.
Hold on, wait. Would you go and see a Fast and Furious if like Vin Diesel wasn't in it?
I will boycott the movie.
You saw Hobbs and Shaw though.
Yeah.
That's a spin-off.
Yeah, Eddie, come on, Eddie.
Come
on, don't go there, Eddie. That's totally different. That's not family. Eddie, that's not family.
That's bro. Yeah, fuck that. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, down to this. Boo.
Yeah,
So what? Hold on. What's the update then, Eddie, on Riddick 4?
It's mini news, so it's basically just the title. But that's the update. The script is finished.
The script is nearly finished. Right. So, you boys watched Tiger King and really enjoyed it, right?
Yeah.
So this thing is obviously now spiraling into a whole life of its own. So apparently, Nicolas Cage is set to play Joe Exotic in a new limited series. I can really see this.
When we were speaking about the other thing that they were going to do, a live-action comedy thing from Saturday Night Live, this isn't that project. So that other one is still happening.
Right.
So they could, it looks like there's going to be multiple Tiger King comedy spin-off things. This one's going to be for, I think, ABC. There's a limited series, which I'm not sure about, man.
Do you reckon like Nicolas Cage will go down to like, where was he from? Florida, and spend like some time there, or wherever Joe Exotic is from, and literally really learn the character?
He has to lose a shit ton of weight, man, because he ain't in good shape lately.
Oh, is he not?
Yeah, he's gonna have to skinny himself down. It's gonna be fun though.
So
I reckon he could do it, right? Because he's got that madness in him.
Yeah.
I'll agree with you, Mo. Like when you guys posted, I don't know who it was. It was who posted it. When I saw it, I thought, yeah, I'm cool with this. I would want to see him play it.
He's so mad. He's gonna want to play with the Tigers for real. So that could be some problem there.
So like, should we flick a coin on who's going to be the first to die, him or Tom Cruise?
I think it'll still be Tom. I think Cage will get mauled, but he'll survive. But he won't have a face.
This is actually pretty fascinating that how a documentary about some dude's life could turn into this insane multiple series of shows across different networks.
Because the characters, man, that's the whole thing. The characters were so insane, so entertaining that it just people want to see.
Have you seen some of the fallout from this show? So obviously I still haven't finished watching it because I just don't care. But apparently they're now saying that the producers of this show, the narrative that they pushed was showing that woman in a bad light, and really that there's no real evidence that she killed her husband. Yet, like the way that they framed it, they've really made it look like that.
I think you have to see it because I don't really see that they did a lot of that. They just presented what.
Well, yeah, but you know what it's like. You present like a little nugget here, right? You don't really have to push it, and all of a sudden, you've got your audience thinking that.
What else to do? Still think she did it though.
Yeah.
Carol Baskins, they're coming for you. They're gonna get caught.
Guys, I'm gonna duck off, so I'll leave the rest of the news up to you guys, right?
But yeah, I'm into this. I'm gonna see the madness of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no, I think he could play this role really well, because I think this does really call for somebody to be unrestrained, and I've seen him do this in some of his other things, and he's got that brilliant kind of like Southern accent as well. I'd love to see him just play like this redneck, gay, just like gun-toting, like bad man.
It's gonna be insane. I can't wait.
It's gonna be brilliant. That I'd pay to see. Right. So you're really into like your Pirates of the Caribbean at the moment. I bet you've watched all of them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like how many are there?
Oh, I can't remember.
Right.
It just blur into one thing at the end.
So apparently Disney have reportedly want Karen Gilligan is it Gillian?
Gillian.
To star in the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot.
Yeah. Anyone who's not familiar, it's the chick who was Nebula from
Doctor Who.
She was in Doctor Who, yeah, but
Yep.
she was in Guardians of the Galaxy as Nebula Under the Blue makeup.
Oh, is that her? Crikey!
So she's
You
in
could never
Jumanji.
tell from the picture that's here.
Yeah, she's in Jumanji as well.
Ah,
Have you ever seen those? Yeah, have you more?
what?
The Jumanji films, the new ones.
I've seen the well, there's only one, right, with Robin Williams.
No, the 2 sequels.
I don't watch all these reboots and things that are made
Not
for like
reboot.
the millennial tweenies
Not
or whatever they
reboot.
are.
Technically consistent with the original film.
Yeah.
It's actually the first one was actually good, and that's a Rock film, and I'm saying it was good. So that tells you something.
Yeah, that you're now accepting bribes from The Rock. So does this get you excited? Will this get you into a Corona World cinema when those reopen to actually want to watch it?
I was thinking, man, what would make me want to go to the cinema? Like, am I that bothered about? Because it would really change. Cinemas have to really change the way that they clean up after each screening.
I think, I think the thing will be, I think at some point we'll just have to say, you know what, fuck it. Like once hospitals are able to cope because they've got enough capacity, you're just gonna have to say, right, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna get it. If that's just the world is just gonna have to go back to normal at some point.
I think we'll get back to normal once there's a treatment, not a vaccine, but something which can effectively treat it, that can get rid of it in a day or two. Then it's like, fuck it, we can do what we want.
But the really good thing that's come out of this is we've been told now, they go, even when the lockdown is eased up, don't expect to come back to the office. They go, we have been doing so well working from home that it'll almost be on a voluntary basis if you want to come back.
So you're going to become a full-time hermit, Mo?
Well, I don't really have a need to go in. I don't really want to go on public transport because literally you go on those tubes, right? You are crammed in there. And if you've seen some of the plans that they've got in Milan for how public transport works, it will not work in London. It'll take me 3 days to get home.
Oh.
Like basically they've ripped out seats from trains. They put like markers on the thing where you can stand, that sort of stuff. So you can get about 17 people in a carriage.
Damn.
That won't work in London.
That won't work.
No.
I was actually thinking if I'm given the option to stay home, because I'm still managing to. I think my work rate's actually up.
Yeah.
Considering from going into the office, would I be allowed to stay home and do it? And would I prefer that?
Well, I find like even if I start late, right, or take a long lunch break, I'll log in at like 10 o'clock at night to like answer emails and set up things for the next day, right? So I can actually pace myself at a different pace.
Yeah, I literally go to sleep in the middle of the day.
Yep.
I have a full healthy nap, which I couldn't do in the office, and get up and just carry on. I'm loving it. It's actually nice. Yeah. I like it.
So I was actually thinking about this. So even before, when I used to go and see the big films, right, like your Avengers, like your MCUs, your Star Wars, I would normally take the day off on Friday. In fact, I was known, if anyone knew I was off on Friday, they'll be like, the first question is like, what film's coming out? And the cinema would be empty. So, that I guess that doesn't really change my habit to go see films.
Yeah. But it'd probably be a big tentpole movie. Or the Christopher Nolan. I think I might.
Oh, yeah, Tenet.
Tenet, yeah. So, yeah.
And I know they haven't changed the date for that yet, have they?
No. Was it like
July?
July time. Could be. Because they're going to reassess it over here in UK on Sunday.
On Sunday, yeah.
And maybe winding it all down. So we'll see. But as far as Pirates of the Caribbean is concerned, is this going to be the Pirates that Johnny Depp gets to come back now that all's forgiven? So him and her and Johnny could be interesting, could be fun. I don't know.
So does the quality deteriorate by the time they get to number 4?
It's yeah. Yeah, there's 5 of them. Now that you've reminded me, there's 5.
I was going to say, it's not a franchise that excites me. And even weirder to think is actually based on a ride from the theme park. So it's not like it's not a movie that made a ride. It's a ride that made a movie.
Yeah, but it's fun though. It's like swashbuckling adventure. Those fun movies you watch as a kid that you just kind of love watching on TV.
I do remember watching the first film when it came out and kind of enjoying it. I remember watching the second film and I don't really remember it. And that was it.
Yeah. Well, as far as she's concerned, I like Karen, Gillan, whatever the hell her name is.
Yeah.
He's not so give me it.
One other news thing that might be worthy of just putting on the under here, Minnie, I was reading about it before we started recording. So, CBS All Access, apparently they've been experiencing stellar growth, and now that they're now fully merged, well, I think all the streaming services are, right, just because of the environment. But when we say stellar, we're not probably talking about like Netflix or like Disney Plus. I mean, they were at the 10 million mark before. So even if they added like another 5 million customers, they've like almost, they've like 50% increase. So now that their merger with like Paramount is done, they are about to do a major rebrand. They're going to add 30,000 episodes of TV from their back catalogue. They are adding 1,000 movies from the Paramount Vault, and they are putting a new focus on originals because obviously so far they've been really focusing on like Star Trek. Obviously that machine is now like in gear, so apparently they now want to start looking at like other things to start attracting other types of customers.
Yeah, doesn't really affect us though, does it?
No, I mean none of these things do, right? The only one that's really made the move over here is Disney, and I can't see any of the others doing that.
Yeah, they'll strike deals with like Amazon or something.
Yeah, well, you would hope so. So we get to see the content in some shape or form.
Yeah. Well, so is that pretty much it, Mo?
That is it for us. Obviously, we did say we would do our 5 futuristic movies and 5 animated shows.
Oh, God, you're supposed to remind me. I have to do it off of memory again. Jesus. You're supposed to remind me, damn it.
Right. So what we'll do is I will remind you this week. So we'll leave that because the show's already gone for an hour and a half.
Okay. Right, I've been going that long. All right.
Well, we did start late because of...
Yeah. You shall not be named.
Yeah. So, folks, if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
If you want to tweet us, we are Talking at the Movies 3. The account's actually getting loads of traction now. So when you like post stuff, people are actually liking it. You get like comments. I had a whole conversation today with Akila about some food I posted up. My God, Akila, I want to see pictures of what you eat. I posted the most healthiest dish I could ever imagine eating, and she goes, which part of that is healthy? This girl must only eat rabbit food.
Wow. Brains on this.
Yeah. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are at talking at the movies.
Yes. So guys, from me, Idris.
And me, Mo.
And Salim, who's going to break his fast or whatever he's doing. We'll see you guys next week. And don't forget, coming weekend, we have our Let's Talk Rush Hour.
So our Back to the Future one is out.
Yeah.
Don't forget to go and see that. And just to give you a bonus as to what it sounds like, there is one thing we forgot to discuss on that show.
What's that?
The DeLorean itself. We never really talked about. So this is a bonus, guys. If you like this, go on, listen to our Back to the Future one. Do you think this movie series would have been as timeless had they put in like a standard car from the 80s?
No.
This thing still looks futuristic. It still looks like it's a car from the future.
Yeah. And we've got to sit in it. We've been in the DeLorean.
Oh, I have a picture with me sitting in the DeLorean with a hoverboard.
With a hoverboard in my lap.
Yeah. But like for the longest time, when I was a kid, I wanted like a DeLorean. Like obviously now you listen to like documentaries and stuff, and apparently they're a piece of shit to drive.
Terrible cars.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one has still bought that and revamped it and released it as an electric car. Who owns the brand? Who owns the name DeLorean now?
Well, I don't. So there is a whole documentary that's literally just come out quite recently about DeLorean and the car. I think I might now watch it now. I'm in the mood to like find out about this. But there is a whole, not an industry, but there's a whole fan base of like people like that build like their own DeLoreans.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, you don't really. Well, I guess you do get that from like some older classic American cars.
Yeah. So guys, check that out.
Yeah.
Back to the Future one released last week. Check it out on YouTube, on the Vulture Network channel, and it's also on the bonus feed of this podcast. And next week we're going to be doing Rush Hour. But after that, I think we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do like verses, like different versions of the films. And that'd be more interesting. And I think the Infernal Affairs one,
that'd be a good one to do. Infernal Affairs of the Departed.
A good one to start with.
Yeah.
As
long as we don't have to do My Sassy Girl and My Sassy Girl US, because I think I would just.
That's not fair. That's part of the. That's what makes it entertaining, even if it's just shit on the film. That's what makes it entertaining. But we'll discuss that when we get to it. Anyway, from me, to the race,
Bo.
See you later, guys.